I'm reading from my novel, And God Said, Billy. I must have confessed for an hour or more. After listening to me babble on and on, at last I fell silent, and you gave me a choice, Father. Call the police or pay the price, your way, for my being a thief. Okay, I'll start again. I'm reading from my novel, And God Said, Billy. I must have confessed for an hour or more. After listening to me babble on, when at last I fell silent, you gave me a choice. Call the police or pay the price, your way, for my being a thief. I picked your way. You told me that your way was that I was to live in Brother Basil's old animal hospital cave with Miss Honeychurch, his crow. That will be your service, you said, to care for the bird, read and talk until I decide you are cured of your soul's illness. During the weeks and months that slowly grew into a year, you lent me books and papers, and we talked about what I was reading and writing. After a while, I started writing this life confession a little every day like you told me to. You said to write it like a memoir-based novel. I think I have so far. You told me that confessing is good and that in other places it's called therapy. When I agreed to your terms, more like an offer from the Godfather I couldn't refuse, I expected lots of Bible or prayers or something else religious, but you said that too much religion makes people snap, and that all fundamentalism is a form of abusive mental illness, be it Christian, Jewish, secular, or Muslim, or anything else. Mostly you gave me stuff by Albert Camus, Frederick Douglass, and Philip K. Dick, Mark Twain, and William Shakespeare to read, and music by Bach, Duke Ellington, and Charlie Parker to listen to. You said I wasn't to ever go near a Bible again. You said there are no chosen people. You said you can't teach good writing, so your faith in Hal Busby back in Hollywood was as misplaced as your faith in Pastor Bob. You said fundamentalist religion is a mental illness involving emotional contagion and peer group and groupthink manipulation so dastardly it may only be described as a complete commitment to psychotic manipulation. You said our brains shape and reshape themselves in ways that depend on what we use them for throughout our lives. With optimal experiences, the brain develops healthy, flexible, and diverse capabilities. When there is disruption of the timing, intensity, quality, or quantity of normal developmental experiences, however, there may be devastating impacts on neurodevelopment and thereby function. You said there is hope for you, Billy, however, because the brain is very plastic, meaning it is capable of changing in response to experiences, especially repetitive and patterned experiences. After a few months, I decided I didn't know what the word Christian meant anymore, because in some ways, Father, you seem even more secular than my friend Molly was becoming, and yet here you are doing all this really old-fashioned liturgical ritual stuff morning, noon, and night. Why? What kind of believer are you? Some of the monks here are way stricter than you. Some say you're a holy fool, and they mean that as a compliment. Some say you're a heretic, and they don't mean that as a compliment. And what did you mean when you said that I needed to make my own, quote, quiet refusal and reject God? I mean, what the fuck, Father? What kind of a monk are you? How can your church let you get away with turning me into an atheist?